it's a big one. The Open Championship.
I got to say, love it because I woke up at like 2:30 in the morning to get a drink of water, and I'm like, yo, golf is coming on.
And then you just stayed up, right?
It didn't start till 4, so it was like a buzzkill. There was like a movie on, so I was like,
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I'll plan for that
Hey,
tomorrow.
it's one of my favorite things. I love having a little breakfast and watching the Open, but
It is cool.
We're watching it right now. We'll see how many people join the live stream because we're competing with it today.
I'm all over the place. I got to bring up my YouTube here. Sorry.
You guys got 2 screens. You can watch it in both places. But anyway, welcome guys to Coffee and Golf. You guys know what we do every Friday. Talking golf, drinking coffee.
We do it every day, but we do it more formally on Friday.
Here we're doing it a little bit more formally. But we'll wait for some people to hop in.
Yeah, let's get some folks in here. Hop on in. Tell us where you're watching from. There's Pete. What's up, Pete? Good evening to you because I know you're out there in Japan. You got some Olympics coming your way soon.
No doubt. So guys, first of all, apologize that we had no Coffee and Golf the last couple of weeks, but I can't even tell you how busy we've been. It's been good busy, man. We've been out there grinding, filming some great videos. We've been traveling around a bit. It's just good to be moving around again. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you right now, no Coffee and Golf next week because we're going to be filming yet another travel series. We're going to talk more about that, but we're going to be away all next week just playing golf every single day. So super psyched for that. But today we're going to be talking about the Open. And I'll tell you what, Mike, I love links golf. I mean, we'll dive into it, but I love watching it. I love playing it. I'm all about links golf.
We are. I mean, your definition of links golf.
True links? I mean, true links golf is this. Yeah, so it's going to be played usually by the water.
The water.
The definition, and I remember learning this when we were out there, of links is that it's the land that links the ocean to the land. So it's always that first transitional land.
Yeah, I mean, I bring that up because our first course out of the gate of the Jersey Shore Tour Sunday is it a links course? There's not a tree on it. Is that what it means?
Which is our first course?
Twisted Dune.
Twisted Dune. It's more inland. So it's not butting right up against the ocean.
So you wouldn't consider that links
style? I would consider it a links style, but not a true links
style.
Course. Yeah, it's a links course, links style. But I love it. I mean, when we got to play it there, just being out in Scotland and playing some of those courses, it is so different in so many ways. But you're watching this, and we'll talk a little about, I think Ernie Els had an incredible quote about Royal St. George's, but you look at it, and it's so weird for us to see no trees and something that's just so exposed. Especially coming right off of the water there. There's just so much of the wind. So this morning, we're gonna dive into some of these guys' scores, but they're going low. And as you said earlier, we were talking about before we went live here, is the wind is down. Wait till see. I mean, some of these links courses, some of their biggest defense, obviously, is the wind.
Yeah, 100%. And I could see we're watching the Open here on the screens, but I think a lot of guys are going to go low this morning. I think what's so funny?
I'm laughing at Mike Fleming's.
What do we got?
Comment. Anyone want to buy a Cobra driver that sucks? Trust me, we're going to get into that. Oh, God, man. Bryson, sometimes he's his own worst enemy when he opens his mouth, that guy. We'll talk about that. That was something. And he's already issued an apology. But, yeah, well, I cut you off. Sorry, Mike.
I don't even know what I was saying, dude. Thanks. But anyway, no, I was saying a lot of these guys are going to go low. I think the afternoon's going to shake things up. Like you said, the wind is going to always pick up, obviously, I mean, as it gets a little colder, as the temperature drops. But let me ask you this question just quickly.
Yeah.
Can you sum up your first links experience in one word?
Oh,
I have the word. I can't say it on the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Murder. It was murder.
West Lancs, England.
Yeah, when we played West Lancs, and it was just that again, no trees to contend with. Like we're used to a lot of times tree-lined fairways and you get into trouble in the trees and you have to punch out and whatever it may be. But just absolutely punishing rough. We see it with the fescue and the heather that we're watching here. But just punishing rough, and it would just that ball would just get up in that wind sometimes, and you were just at this mercy. I still remember, talking about wind, we had one par 3 that played directly into the wind. It was right at the water. And do you remember when you hit a
3-wood?
Yeah, how many yards?
So it was reading 178 to the flag with about probably a 30-mile-per-hour wind directly into the face. I hit a 3-wood to 5 feet. It was the best shot of my life, one of the best. And it was just like, standing over that going, is this the right club? 3-wood to 174 with all water behind that green?
Yeah.
Worked out.
Yeah, there's no way to explain it. It's a wildly different experience. And what I think is so remarkable and why I enjoy the Open every year is that so many of these European players really do have a home field advantage in a lot of ways, and that they've had the experience playing it. What blew my mind the other day is I saw Lonto Griffin, who we've had on the podcast before, a terrific guy who's found a tremendous amount of success on the PGA Tour of late. And here's a guy who's played more golf than any of us can pretty much ever dream to have played. He's reached the highest level playing on the PGA Tour, and he was playing a warm-up round at Royal St. George's, and he put this post out on Instagram, and he said it was his first time playing links golf. And that's amazing to me. That's amazing that somebody's had a career in golf and has not had that opportunity to play. And that's where, you get the guys from the UK who've got that experience. Now, it doesn't necessarily, we still seen Americans win this quite often, but it's just tremendous to me. But the other thing that kind of really was surprising in a way to me, maybe it shouldn't have been, but when we were there in Scotland firsthand and in England, I thought that I found it quite interesting how across the board, how many of their golfers play serious golf, right? Mm-hmm. So we would see young kids out there and stuff like that, and they would be playing at a very high level. And there was a lot of they call medal matches and stuff like that, where a lot of guys were playing on regular competition. And I feel like here in the States, we have so much more casual golf. Mm-hmm. We go out there for business, or guys will go out there because there's an outing and have fun with their buddies and blow off some steam on the weekend. But you
don't see much of guys shotgunning beers over there. Is that what you're saying?
We saw just so much of taking it from a very serious level of the way they approach the game, and I thought that was really cool.
I feel like golf is life over there
in a lot of ways. I feel like if you golf, it is more your life. Whereas here it could be peripherally. Maybe you go out a couple times a year.
Yeah, true. Especially
not across the board. There's guys like us and tons of you guys watching who play golf very seriously. But I was just impressed with how serious so much of the golfers out there really took the sport.
Yeah, man. I mean, you remember us walking through the town of St. Andrews? It was like a golf heaven. Everything was themed golf. I'm surprised the parking meters weren't shaped like golf balls. It was just like golf heaven. And you could tell they take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, and Scott makes one more opens than any other country. It is so true, and there's so much of the field, especially on the PGA Tour, is made up of Americans. But I do like seeing that little bit of a mix-up and seeing some other countries represented in a major. And
definitely.
You look at the top 20, and you see a lot of different flags, so to speak. And so I think it's in a way it kind of shakes things up a little bit.
Yeah. We got some comments here. Just real quick, I just want to get to them. We got Sean had a good comment. Speaking of someone who lives in the UK, the weather, the heat will start to dry out the fairways. Greens are going to go into the weekend are going to be very tough to score. I mean, that's true. I mean, I could see this just really changing over the weekend. Those greens just when those greens are firm. Yeah. Firm greens, forget it.
Well, and you look at some of these guys, they're trying to hit those greens from that fescue and that heather. And you can't put spin on the ball from there. So it becomes very difficult to hold the greens as they quicken up. So I think we could see a really crazy, exciting weekend, that's for sure. But just speaking about it, let's just talk about, first of all, Royal St. George's. I mean, what a gorgeous place this is. I mean, a stunning backdrop to hold an Open.
Really nice.
And I think it's just represented really well. And this was cool, kind of going back a little bit. This quote's a little bit older, but I think Ernie Els says it perfectly here. He says, at times it feels like you're playing on the moon here. There's nothing flat on this golf course. And that was a quote from Ernie back in 2003. But it's true. Again, I mean, everywhere, undulations, and it's going to be a thing where you got to know your spots. You got to be working with your caddy and hitting your spots, because there's nothing going to be even out there, but it makes for some seriously entertaining golf.
It definitely does, but I don't know, these guys seem like it's not affecting them right now, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, right now, we're watching them this morning. And guys, I mean, how impressed have you been? Tell us in the comments, how impressed have you been with some of these rounds this morning? I think a large part is attributed to the wind being a little bit quiet. But for one, Morikawa, oh, my God, look at this front nine that he put up. Just absolutely incredible. I mean, we coming in from that front nine shooting, I think 31 on the front. Everyone was starting to talk 59 watch. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, he ended up with a 9 under. You know, he's a 64 on the round, 9 under on the tournament. Jeez, incredible. So that's going to be hard to catch.
He's leading the pack right now, right? I think he is. I think he's -9. Happy Friday. True Links Golf's different monster for the greens putty. Wow, dude. He lives near Cabot Links, Cabot Cliffs.
Yeah.
Place we got to get to.
Brandon says Colin's the best irons player in the world, no question. And he's got to have, no doubt, one of the most technically pure swings there are out there. And then Pete mentions, which is true, Zalatoris Eagle was amazing. Such a pity he had to pull out. And that was sad to see. Just got the news that he had to withdraw back injury. He had said that the other day he was hitting out of that heavy rough, and he said he felt a shooting pain from his back shoot down into his leg, just excruciating pain. He said he tried to work through it. I heard him quoting saying he was in the gym a little bit trying to work through it, stretching, whatever it may be, but ultimately had to make, which is often the smartest decision, of not further injuring himself and just pulling out. Because sometimes when you try to work through those injuries, it's just a guy like him with where his career is taking off right now to have to, maybe call it quits for a month or two because he injures himself it's just not worth it.
Yeah, man,
that's
just
not
tough.
worth it.
He's a young dude, too.
He is. Yeah, young guy. Did you make that tee time yet? I see you over there.
I'm trying, man. I'm refreshing the page. Hey, guys, let me ask you a question. If you're making a tee time a week out and you see that it's thunderstorms a week out, do you trust that weather, or do you book anyway? We're booking anyway. We just wanted to get your take.
Yeah, man, thunderstorms come
and go. A week out, they come and go.
They come and go. Yeah, we're booking the last round of our series that we're filming next week.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a schedule snafu, but we're just going to pop one in. Maybe Brandon can throw. We're going to do Scotland Run. Brandon seems like he's a South Jersey guy.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so I want to dive into this Bryson thing really quick and get you guys' takes. So throw it in the comments because I know Bryson is an incredibly polarizing individual, but clearly feeling some frustration of his first round. Bryson DeChambeau hit just 4 of 14 fairways, and he went off on his driver. And the Cobra team did not take to it too well. So you see the quote there, but I think what's really kind of funny is I love these guys just dig each other. Justin Thomas, you see his comment there?
Yeah, how
he
great is
said,
that?
never would have thought swinging 135 plus miles an hour would be hard to drive it straight. You'd think Mr. Physics would know that. that's the best dig. Quote of the whole thing, and then nobody's talking about it.
But that's a tough dig to give your month from now Ryder Cup partner.
Yeah, but I think they know it's so in jest. Those guys are always at each other.
All right, so it's not a like a hateful dig.
No, I don't think
it's
that
more
one
playful. Is. Got it.
But and we'll see the Ryder Cup. These guys tend to put differences aside. I mean, we saw the whole issue with Reed.
I think they just put Reed and Bryson together and then just let them do their thing.
But Bryson, but hey,
I actually like them both.
Koepka already came out and said he's putting differences aside for that week.
Yeah, I mean,
which I think he's capable of doing.
We're gonna put our differences aside.
Yeah, put our differences aside. But of course, so big fallout from that because it just. I forget who it was. One of the Cobra representatives said it's kind of like when an 8-year-old gets upset and says something he doesn't mean. It's kind of how it went because Bryson was so upset over the thing with it. Bryson, I won't read the whole thing here, but he already issued an apology, basically walking back his statements and talking about how it wasn't the driver's fault, it was his fault, and he's talked about how Cobra has been a great partner. I mean. In a lot of ways, kind of course he's going to say that.
Yeah.
But, it is a tough thing. It's a tough thing when you're frustrated to point the finger and blame somewhere else because ultimately, I don't care who it is, all the equipment manufacturers, these guys, they put a lot of time, money, energy into like making their tour players perform their best. The guy has a bad day and boom.
You're right. Hey, Nick the Wick, thanks for the donation and thanks for the coffee.
There you go.
Appreciate it. Cheers,
that.
man.
Thank you. Yes. Hope you guys having your coffee wherever you're watching this. Hey, how does it? You can't beat it, right? Coffee and a major championship.
Coffee, golf, and Friday.
And a major championship. But anyway, so talk about Bryson. Talk about Morikawa. One thing, too, to talk about, obviously, is the field being a bit limited this year. So a lot of kind of controversial stuff came out. You had Bubba Watson, who withdrew because he had some sort of direct exposure with COVID. But I think one of the craziest stories that the Bubba story, like as everybody was talking about, it kind of slipped under the radar a little bit, was Zach Johnson, who's a former Open Championship winner. He ended up, I mean, talk about dodging a bullet. So he had the rapid COVID test and found out that he was positive after his final round last Sunday. He took the test. 90 minutes later, he finds out. But, I mean, literally just about to board the charter plane.
Could have infected everyone there.
Not only that, even if they didn't catch it, just the rules and regulations, the way they have it in the UK, those would have all been direct exposures.
And they all would have
So
been
whether they were
out.
positive or not, everybody on that plane, players, caddies, none of them would have been able
They would have
to
had to quarantine,
participate.
isolate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, dodging a bullet. I mean, we already saw, I think it was a total of, it was either 14 players who either withdrew or were not able to play, withdrew, on their own fruition or were not able to play because of some sort of COVID incident. But that number could have skyrocketed if Zach Johnson got on that plane.
Big time. Big time. So I think it was like a total of 20 guys had to pull out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was as of like the Tuesday before, but it could have been even more as it got closer. And then you got some in round withdrawals like Zalatoris, and I don't know, the field is just dwindling.
Yeah. So
But
it was wild, but ultimately, I mean, we're seeing that we know that, obviously that with the UK, and there's been some struggles with the different more contagious variants and stuff like that. So I think they're doing the best they can with what they have. To me, ultimately, I'm just happy to see the Open Championship back because it was canceled last year. It was the only major that we didn't get to have, and to be back with fans, a strong field. I'm happy about it.
yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, this is the one we missed last year.
That's right. And I believe is next year the year that they're back at St. Andrews?
I don't know. I think it's one more year after that. I think because originally we were planning to go, and it was in 22 at the time. This was pre-COVID. So
Mike
it's probably
Fleming
23.
here saying the Open next year is at St. Andrews. So
Come on, Mike Fleming. Did you just prove me wrong there?
I think you just proved him wrong, Mike.
Hold on.
It's Mike versus Mike right now, which ideally I'd love to get over there and see it.
2022?
There we go.
Yeah, but it was always 2022, but
You're thinking everything got bumped
everything
back
got
a
bumped.
year?
No. Yeah, St. Andrews.
Yeah,
All right,
next
so
year, 150th at St. Andrews.
could we go?
I want to go. I
Love
think we
that
got to make
place.
that happen.
I love that place.
I think I got to make that happen. Yeah,
Okay.
next year is 150 years, so it's St. Andrews. Wow, that's gonna be
You guys all
big.
want to meet us in St. Andrews?
Yeah, Coffee and Golf live from
Yeah.
from St. Andrews.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, how cool is that going to be? 150th, man. They're gonna make a huge deal out of that. That's gonna be awesome.
We gotta go. Okay.
Another kind of cool story. Did you see John Thompson in the field? I mean, this guy. This is football numbers. This guy's size. 6'9",
tackle number, right?
300.
Dude's a beast. Where is he in the leaderboard? Let me take a look.
Yeah, find him on the leaderboard. But he just towering over everybody out there.
He's +1, so he's hanging around the cut line. Look at Westwood here. Yeah, he's a big
Tyler
dude, man.
says, "Get us press passes and we'll meet you there."
Yeah, there you go.
I'll tell you what, we're still working on getting press passes for half of these things.
They're slowly coming back.
They're still limiting who they're allowing at these events, but we're getting there. Yeah. Anyway,
Golficity Charter.
did you find him where he was on the? I missed it.
+1.
Plus
He's
one.
on the cut line.
Not bad.
But he didn't tee off yet today, so who knows? Maybe he can move up the board. A lot of weird names at the cut line. A lot of weird names on this leaderboard, like Phil Mickelson +12. I mean, there's things I didn't see coming here. You know, where is he? You got guys like Lucas Glover and Harris English who recently just won a couple of weeks ago, both at the top of their game, both +5.
Yeah.
You know, so this links golf can change anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just reading some of you guys' comments too. Funny, looking like Aaron Judge out there. Kevin says.
Speaking of that, guys, I mean, I wanted to get this thought. Like, what was your thought on this Lee Westwood stat? Because I know a lot of people are always like, we're praying that like the guy who's never won a major, Ricky Fowler, Lee Westwood, but Lee Westwood, I think the stat was 88 majors he's played in, and he doesn't have one.
Yeah, yeah. So here's his quotes: "Is that's nice at records. That shows I've been a good player for a long, long time. There's not many people who've played as many major championships as me, and I tell you what, good on Lee. That's the one way. That's a good way to think about it and to spin it. You know, because the reality is, we would kill to play majors, and so many players. Like we talked about when Fowler missed his first major in 10 years or whatever it was, what it means to, I know it's like the Oscars where it's just like, oh, I just happen to be nominated, but it is true. I mean, to be able to be so consistent in your golf career that you're qualifying for majors every single year for as long as somebody like Lee Westwood did. And it's a double-edged sword because on the other side, then he starts getting the people coming in saying, oh, he hasn't won one.
Right.
But I tell you what, there's a lot of people who would happily trade careers with Lee Westwood.
100%.
That's for sure.
100%.
But speaking of records, did you see Jack's record at the Open? Take a look at these
incredible is
numbers.
that?
Look at these numbers.
So
Talk about a run
No worse than a T5 in, was it 15 consecutive tries?
at the Open. That's incredible.
It is incredible.
That's incredible. And speaking of which, somebody had a quote. You were telling me about it earlier with Oosthuizen.
Yeah. Luke Donald posted, I believe it was on like his Twitter or something. He said, there's only was it 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and Louis in the top 5 in a major.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
And he does. He hangs in there. There's no doubt about it. And Louis somewhere in the top 5, I think, right now. Man, I'd love to see him win it. That's for sure. But it's just incredible to see a record like that, and that's why you wonder what Jack, arguably, going back and forth with Tiger, of the old debate of who's the greatest of all time. I mean, both of their records. It's just whenever you want some mind-blowing statistics, you look at that.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see this earlier in the week? The player who, not the player, sorry, the fan who walked up and stole one of Rory's clubs, but I won't even say stole. It's not like he was trying to get away with it.
So he comes.
It was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
He tries to grab the driver. It falls off. So then he just grabs another club casually, right there in front of Rory and John Rahm, and then he just goes off in the corner and just starts taking cuts with it.
Yeah. It was strange.
Until security comes in and immediately escorts him out of there. But this is at the Scottish Open, and I was just like, what the heck is going on here? But who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the guy, struggles with some sort of mental
It could be.
issue.
He might have just
I don't
not
know.
all been there. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe he was just hammered.
But for them to just, to just not stop him because that's great. He must have been destroyed. Emilio says, "Yeah, he could have been."
It's possible too. Maybe he was just hammered and he walked up there. But I'll be honest with you. I know it's very hard in a space as big as these golf courses are. I mean, where the only thing really separating you from the players is a little piece of twine often. But as a player, I wouldn't be super happy that someone security-wise was able to access like that, get that close.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys shouldn't have to have bodyguards out there. If you don't want to think that someone would do something like bad or tragic, but if someone can walk up right in front of a player and takes a club from their bag, they could do a lot worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's scary. It's a scary thing to think of.
Mm-hmm.
Mike says that guy must have been related to the guy who was hitting balls in the fairway at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
remember that guy?
That guy had a pretty good cut.
Went out
too.
there to start taking cuts. Jarrett says, definitely a hold my beer moment.
Yeah.
Yes, that did start with a, hey, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Or the other dreaded words, watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, guys, watch this.
I had a hold my beer moment when I shook Tiger's hand.
Yes.
I had no right to be on that fairway.
Mm-mm.
You know,
following
I was
him
that
around.
guy.
Yeah. Is that why we haven't had press passes in a while?
I think so. I think he thought I was with the New York Times because I was walking with 3 other guys who introduced themselves as, "Hey, Tiger, we're with the New York Times. We're doing a piece on you today." And I just had like my media badge, and I was just like, "I'm with them." You know?
Yeah. I'm with these guys.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to say hi to Tiger, I'm with them. All right. I want to get into some other news stories from this week, but first, two big
Oh,
things.
yeah. And you guys have been talking about them. So the hats.
Yeah, tell them about the hats.
So Pete actually thinks there's 3 small people sitting here. No, these are hats. So Jersey Shore Tour kicking off.
These just landed yesterday.
Can you switch that camera,
Yeah,
Frank,
let me get
for
you.
me? Check this out. Logo stitched in with the T going through it. Right now available in white and black. Not available yet, but the drop will be coming soon, guys. Just wanted to show you guys a couple of samples. Frank's wearing the black one.
Yep.
There. But, hey, if you live in Jersey, you're a Jersey golfer and got a little bit of Jersey golf love in your heart, maybe grew up in Jersey or something, we thought it was a cool design. We'll be wearing these all week.
Yeah, we had a little fun putting that one together. Other thing, too, is the Golficity Virtual Open. So we always like to kind of, like, you guys who join us here every Friday, we like to kind of give you guys, like, the first kind of, you guys get the news first, so to speak. So we are going to be doing, it's the 4th annual Golficity Virtual Open. If you've been following us, you probably have seen it in previous years. If not, you may be new to it. We're going to do a full announcement. We're actually going to be shooting that video today. We've got a ton of door prizes stacked up over there, so we're going to be running through all of that. But Registration is now open. You can go in and start registering. You can go to golficity.com/open to register. It is 100%, as it's always been in the past, it is 100% free to play. And everybody who registers and plays their round, I don't care what you score, you have the same chance of winning the prizes. Everything is a door prize. We're out there, again, to have fun and get those rounds in. And I think a big thing a big driver of why we like to do this every year is it gets people out there playing more golf. I think we had 1,600 rounds in the virtual open last year. And on top of that, we get people together to play. I know that it's tough. We do it virtual because we want to include everybody from all over the world being able to play. But the nice thing is you get these little pockets that pop up where people meet up and play.
Yeah, I love that.
I've seen it before in the Facebook group, the Golficity Facebook group. Somebody say, hey, I'm playing my Golficity Virtual Open. Anyone want to join me? And we've seen a lot of guys get paired up and play that way. So appreciate, here you go, you guys who are playing in it. Tommy, gotta love the GVO. So it's new to some of you guys. Some of you guys, you've done this before, but we worked hard to get some great prizes. I think we got over $2,000 in door prizes this year. We will have an official announcement with all of the information, but this year we're gonna be doing it from August 1st to August 30. Is August a month of 30 or 31?
30. 31.
Whatever to the
Right.
last day in August.
I think it's 31.
So you got the whole month to log your round. We're going to be playing in it, and what's so cool is that we've got the live leaderboards. So you'll be able to see them. We do it all in the 18 Birdies app. You can use the free version of the app. We tried to really make this so you guys didn't have to pay for anything more than your tee time to participate in this. So you can play at your local course. I think it's just got to be a par 70 or greater.
Mm-hmm.
We use the Peoria system for handicapping. We always laugh.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Because we have an inside joke that like Peter Peoria
It was Frank
Frank Peoria invented this. We don't know the real story.
We don't know the story, but
whatever.
we've got crazy minds.
Here we go. Well, even the comments, we're not sure. Pete says 31 days in August. Nike J24 says 30. Whatever.
It's 31, guys.
Shows you how well we all know our calendars. But anyway, you have the whole month. We're gonna have a lot more details, so we'll tell you about it as it gets closer. Will be an announcement video about that in about before the month is out. But for now, I want to let you guys know first. Go to golficity.com/open. Mike, can you throw that in the comments?
Yeah.
So people have the link, and then this way, you guys can start registering. All the information is there. It's 3 steps to get in there, and we're gonna be having a lot of fun.
Did you mention any of the prizes? We're gonna be shooting that video today, showing some of the prizes. But I mean, I can tell you right now, someone's gonna win an OptiShot simulator for their house. How cool is that? I'm just looking at them now.
We've got a
vessel bag, a Rapsodo
launch monitor. Yep.
And a whole bunch of other stuff.
We got some great
putt out stuff.
So
Titleist balls.
You're going to want to be in it. And like I said, it's so much fun watching yourself moving up and down the leaderboard. You can watch the live leaderboards while you're playing your round, and then even after the fact, you can watch your buddies. It's a live leaderboard the whole month. All right, jumping back into it, some of the news. One other thing too, that bring a little bit of character to this week's Open Championship. Did you see the greenskeeper?
The flamethrower?
No, the greenskeeper. Guy's a rock star. Look at this guy.
Oh, look at this guy. Yeah.
Paul Larson.
There he is.
This is who you want to be your greenskeeper. And everyone's making the same comment. Like
Stern.
Is that Howard Stern?
Yeah. You see the Stern fake tweet, stop sending me.
Quit sending me this. Yeah. Too funny. I mean, Paul, this guy, look
Paul,
at him. He's a legend.
It's windy out there.
Guy's a legend. And speaking of which, carrying the narrative that this whole thing is it's a rock concert is first you've got Paul, and then you got the other day. You see this they're doing with the flamethrower on the edges of the bunkers, and I'll tell you what, this amazing what the entire greenskeeping crew have done at Royal St. George's, because they did a huge bunker restoration, and I was able to did some digging on Instagram, and I saw some of the before and afters where they just kind of refurbished those bunkers. It takes a lot of work to keep those bunker faces and everything looking so pristine, and I mean they got it done. Every bunker out there looks awesome.
It looks awesome. I just wish they had better camera angles in their bunkers, like the ones we use. Where you're hitting the ball over the camera, obviously it would be distracting to them.
Yeah.
Their cameras are actually wired and in there.
Right. They're not like us where you can stop play to go put a camera.
Yeah,
there.
let me put a GoPro.
Hey, hold on. Hit that shot. Let me put this in front of you.
But for once, I just want to see like a PGA Tour pro hitting directly into the camera like we do. But
Doug says, have you all seen the pic of Spieth with that hair? I haven't. I got to look for that.
With the what?
Spieth with that hair. Somebody put that hair on
oh, get out of here.
Spieth.
No, I got to check that out.
That's something I got to say. But anyway, just it's like I said, it's a rock show out there. It's incredible. Other thing in the news this week, I thought it was really cool and really something we can all learn from, listening to Jon Rahm talk about why his swing is so short. Did you get to watch that?
I didn't watch the interview, but he was talking about that.
So it was really kind of interesting. Like he said was that he was born with basically a deformity in his right leg, where his leg was twisted when he was born. And he said within 30 minutes of being born, they had to break the leg, reset it, and he was in a cast from the knee down. Now, also, when you're that age, you're growing very rapidly. So he had said, and I don't want to quote him exactly because I don't remember the exact specifics, but he had to be recast, I think, every month to go with the growth. So what it ended up being was he had a lot of limited mobility in that right ankle. He also showed, interestingly, how he had far more mobility in his wrists this way than this way, because he also talked about the short swing and the cupped wrist. But that's not what matters so much. What matters is, and I think the moral of what he said, and I think one of the most important things is, we all have different bodies. You have to, it comes back to that old adage, swing your swing. But he kept driving home. It's like, you can't try to force your body to do something because you see someone else do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you see another player or a PGA Tour player is able to swing a certain way, it doesn't mean that you can. In fact, that can lead to injury. So what he found instead, I think what was so remarkable about this, is he found a way to still generate a ton of power and ball striking accuracy with his own limitations. So he's saying everyone's coming in with different body limitations. I think it really comes down to knowing your body.
Yeah.
And in fact, we're doing some stuff, kind of building up some fitness podcasts and stuff, some interviews that you're going to hear coming up really soon talking about that. The best players are ones who work with their fitness coach to work within what they've got. And then they can work to improve it. But there's certain things, like in this case, it was a physical condition. There's not much more he can do there, but he can find ways to work with it. I thought it was really incredible.
That's wild.
As Blake says here, Rahm's right leg is 1 to 2 inches shorter than his left leg. But I thought it was great for him to give that insight, because so many of us just try to like copy the golfer that we want to play like.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I couldn't, nor would it make sense for me to try to walk like Tiger Woods.
Right.
Right? Your body is in a certain way that everyone is unique, and you're going to do different things. The idea, instead of trying, of course, you can learn technique from the greatest golfers. There's no doubt about that. But I think it really kind of comes down to this idea of saying, maximize your efficiency with the body that you have, because they're so different. And that's what Rahm does perfectly. I mean, the guy is number one in the world. Yeah, but it still shows you something. Imagine reaching number one in the world and your right leg is 2 inches shorter than your left.
I'm not discounting it. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
It
is incredible. It is incredible. And there's a lot of there's been a lot of stories of guys on tour who've had some limitations. Guys like Patrick Cantlay, who had like a horrific car accident.
Yeah.
And didn't think he would ever walk again, and now he's a PGA Tour winner multiple times. So,
and I think we're going to see this with Tiger.
Yes.
Because I'm very hopeful,
there's another
as we
guy.
all are, that he's going to make his return. But there's no doubt in my mind he will not have that same mobility in that right leg that he did before. He's got pins in there, was shattered. So it'll be interesting to see what he does to make it work.
I'm going to make a play right now on that, and I'm going to say we will see Tiger in play in St. Andrews this time next year.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. What's his name? It said
Tom Watson.
Tom Watson said.
I believe
his prediction
it,
was he would return for the Open Championship.
Seeing him like up now, walking around, being middle of 2021. We're talking middle of 2022. I'm not saying whether he's going to play well or not.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say he's there.
Brandon says an interesting thing. He says, trying to emulate my favorite golfers ruined my golf for 2 seasons. And you know what? You're not the only one. Even at the highest level, we've interviewed people on the podcast who have talked about how other PGA Tour players, some of the greats, have set themselves back trying to emulate some of their own idols, or trying to push the envelope. We just got the quote. We talked about it on Coffee Golf recently. Rory McIlroy was trying to chase too much distance after he saw what Bryson was doing, and it got him away from it. So
it's like when Shooter McGavin tried to hit like happy when no one was looking. Remember that scene?
That's exactly right. Here, the opposite side of the coin. I love this from Mike Fleming. He says, I want to work with John Daly's fitness and nutrition coach.
Yeah, there you go.
There's the other side of the story. All right, one other thing we have for you before we get into this week's Heartbreak of the Week. This was, talk about a close call.
This could have been so bad.
This could have been bad.
So
Where do I have my Justin Tuck here? Hold on a second. I know I had.
So this happened at the ACC that went out in Tahoe with all the celebrities.
Yes.
And Justin Tuck, what did he do? He took a swing.
So he takes one. We've got it from two different angles. I just want to make sure I have it. Here we go. Justin Tuck.
You guys, rare you catch Frank off his game. Rare.
At least you got this one here. So this is the point of view of the guy who is filming his swing. And when you're an amateur golfer, don't stand here. Look at that. This guy nearly lost his life. This ball comes and we have it. I got to find it from the other angle.
Yeah.
But we're talking about literally inches away from his head with driver. See if I can get that.
That other angle, it's scary.
It's scary. But look at this. He just shanks this one and God, that was close. That was so close. I'm trying to see if I have that other angle from that one. Maybe not. Oh, here it is. Here it goes. Okay, here's your other angle, guys. Look at that. Whoa. It was so fast, he didn't even have a second to react. Look at this. The guys in the back react because they had more time to think about it. But no reaction, just right by the head.
Such a bad swing, too. Like a bad result. It's like a left horizontal slice.
He's not a professional golfer. You
right.
know what I mean? That's dangerous to be standing there. You got to be.
Well, that's got to just teach you guys a lesson. Well, we got to show that to our guy Zach too, because he likes to get in these dangerous positions. I say, hey Zach, this is what can happen, but I don't think he cares. Yeah, he's just shrugging his shoulders.
Jimmy says that dude was so lucky. Brad, poor TV did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
and just incredible. And don't stand there. I think that's the moral of the story is just don't stand there.
That could have been our almost heartbreak of the week.
That could have been our heartbreak of the week. But instead, let's dive into this week's
heart attack heartbreak of the week.
I like calling it the heart attack.
Let's call it the heart attack because if this happened to me, I would have a heart attack in the moment.
So this one made the rounds all over this week.
This thing blew up on
I can't believe they caught this
media.
On camera. This guy's ball got struck by lightning in mid-flight at Topgolf. Look at this thing. And then I love how, the thunder, it's right there. The strike was right in front of them. It shakes the place. Look at this. Right there. What in God's name are the odds of something like this happening?
It's insane.
Anybody who's had lightning strike even anywhere near them knows how overwhelmingly scary of a feeling it could be.
Jeez.
This thing struck ultimately. Look how lit up that scene is from the strike.
It's wild.
This thing struck no more than 50 yards from where they were, and it hits this ball in midair.
I'm surprised that Topgolf not catch you don't let people out there in that kind of weather.
Yeah,
with metal golf clubs.
You almost think it's got to be like a course where they if there's lightning in the area, they blow the horn and everybody's in, because that's why golf courses don't mess around with it, and that's why you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's just incredible. When Jimmy says when Thor goes golfing. Exactly.
J. Cole 19 just signed up for the virtual open. Sweet, dude.
Great. Yeah. So, guys, go to golficity.com/open. Start signing up. You'll be able to play your first round. The open opens up on August 1st. That's when you'll be able to log your first round. Like I said, we'll have a lot more details about it coming up soon. Any golf trips coming up? Yes, as a matter of fact, we are leaving tomorrow morning.
That's right.
For a full week down by Atlantic City. We're going to be filming a series down there highlighting some of the great golf that's down there. There's some courses with a lot of history. Sam Snead, where he won his first major, we're going to be playing there. There's some great LPGA Tour events down there. There's some difficult courses. We'll play Twisted Dune. Mike is actively working on getting us a tee time at Scotland Run.
I'm actively working. And, this is actually pretty cool because this is, we do our travel trips. It's just, you, me, Zach, we go out, we do our thing, we come home, but we're actually bringing the families.
Yes.
The wives, the kids. So it's going to be, we found a clever way to play golf every day on a family vacation.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right. So that's gonna be fun. All right, so let's talk real quick. I want to, of course, dive into our making cuts, making bucks segment. Now look, you've caught Frank off guard 2 times because now I don't have our little making cuts, making bucks.
You want me to sing something?
We'll just come up with a jingle on the spot.
Making cuts,
making bucks. So,
making
hold on,
cuts.
all right, you guys don't want to hear that. That's not why you guys tuned in. All right, Mike, who is your pick this week?
All right, this week, going into the week, all money on Jordan Spieth, and I don't know. I mean, he won this thing in 2017. It was a different course, of course, but it's not that much of a different feel. It's links golf. It's got a similar feel, but it's something about this Open Championship, and it's something about his current game. We know he was fitted new for new Titleist irons. I heard he's feeling good about his game right now. And coming in, I was all big on Jordan Spieth. Actually, Golficity picked them in their fantasy picks this week as the number 1 guy. Totally behind it. I think this is Jordan's week. I think he's off to a good start so far.
And in a lot of ways, we've been talking about this week after week. He's been leading up to this. Been playing well. Hey, this is what I love about these. You guys are great too, giving us that inside info. Brandon says Scotland Run better to call. Their website's trash. So maybe right after this, we'll call them and try to make that tee time.
Okay.
And Raj says, can you please say my name? I'm 11 and I just shot a 64 off the blues. Whoa. Raj, look forward to watching you on the PGA Tour.
What's up, Raj?
That's incredible.
Can I caddy for you on tour?
That's incredible.
I've always wanted to caddy for a tour player.
That is awesome.
Keep me in mind.
All right, so my pick, and I hear what you're saying, Mike. Mike says I was hot on him going into the week because yes, this could look like a front runner pick, but I got to go with Morikawa because what he did today was incredible. I think, as Mike was saying earlier, we're going to see a lot more of the lower numbers post this morning while the wind is down. But you know what? Good players take advantage of of good conditions. That's just what it is. But here's a guy who we talked about it earlier. We talked about his iron play. He has no doubt the ability, and he's proven it before that he's not one of those guys who is going to fall apart on the big stage. Morikawa has won a major already. I undoubtedly think that this guy has the chops to do it. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be tough to follow up his round of 64 with another strong round. It's going to really depend on the weather.
Sure.
However, I think he's off to the races. It's in his hands. That doesn't mean it's in any way a walk-off. This is going to be a shootout to the very end. I think there's going to see a lot of guys in the mix, and I think anybody who says they know exactly who's going to win is crazy. This Sunday we could see some real shake-up in the leaderboard, but no doubt Morikawa has the chops to do it. I want to see if he gets over the line and does it.
I don't necessarily going to call that a front-runner pick. Even though he's in the lead right now, I honestly don't think he'll be in the lead after today. I think these guys, I think you're going to see Louis or Spieth somewhere in minus 11 or 12, and Morikawa minus 9 he finished. Still think it's a great pick. Mm-hmm. Still think he can win. We know he's won a major before, but I think Louis, something about Louis,
Emilio
says,
switch
scares me.
Look, Emilio says Louis.
That's it.
And I tell you what,
he wants it.
Two back finishes that round. He's at 7 under. Just great. And Thomas says Paul Casey, Ian Poulter, very sneaky. Watch out. That's what I'm saying. No doubt this leaderboard, we're going to see a lot of movement in the top. But who knows? I mean, any of these guys would be a good pick.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. But either way, it's exciting, and we're going to be watching. We're going to be out there playing golf in the morning, so we might miss a little bit of Sunday's round, but we'll try to catch a bit of it, and it's going to be exciting to watch. There's no doubt about it.
Can't wait.
So, guys, next week, no coffee and golf. We are going to be away, but as we said before, any week that we're here in the office, we're going to be here with you guys because it's one of our favorite times to get to read your comments and talk with you guys because that's one of our favorite parts of doing this. That's why we love going live.
Yeah.
That's why we like to give you guys the information first. So you guys are the first to hear about it. August 1st through August 30th, it's going to be the Golficity Virtual Open 4th Annual. Let's see if we can get the field up to 2,000 people.
Let's get 2,000.
I want to see
We're going to get it.
2,000
We're definitely going to get
2,000
2,000
this year. That's going to be
We're
fun.
definitely going to do that. And make sure you guys follow along our Instagram all week next week because it's going to be an epic time. I don't remember the last time we actually filmed like a week-long travel series together since Scotland, 2019. So, we're going to be doing things. We're going to be going in and out of Atlantic City, going to some famous, food stops, things like that. So if you want to know a little bit more, you want that inside or living vicariously through us of hey, I heard of Atlantic City, New Jersey, Jersey Shore, never seen it. Follow along in
There's just so much great golf down there that we
really
got to do it, justice and highlight some of it. Plus, just feels great to get out there and play every day.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That is for sure.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Open. It's gonna, like I said, I can get chills thinking about it. Sunday is going to be crazy. You just watch. That leaderboard is going to bounce all over the place. We'll see everybody again soon.